It's Radio 2 and we are counting our way through the 100 favourite albums as voted for by you lot listening right now. And I have a man in front of me who is responsible for one of the albums, and I can now say hi to Brian May from Queen.
Joe.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
Very well.
And I can tell you now that A Night at the Opera has been voted by the Radio 2 listeners at number 10 out of all the albums of all time. So congratulations on that. What are your memories of this album?
Well, it was a life or death situation really for the band, because we were deeply in debt and in a horribly bad management situation. And if the album hadn't been the greatest thing we'd ever done and a huge success, that would have been it, really, for Queen. Just before we went in to record it, we signed up with John Reid, who was Elton John's manager at the time. And John just said to us, look, I'll sort out your business stuff. You go in and make the best album you've ever made and we'll conquer the world. And it worked out pretty good.
And was it an easy album to make in the end? What's your memory of actually recording the album or working together?
It was quite amazing, really. We were always very keen on using the studio to the ultimate extent, and we got so complex in the things we were trying to do, we had to use quite a few studios at the same time. So very often I would be overdubbing in one place, like Scorpio, I remember, and there would be Psalm East and Psalm West, and Freddie would be doing his overdub somewhere else. So we really went at it very intensively, and then we would get back together at the end of the week and sort of compare notes. But it is a very complex sort of structured album. It's all us, you know, it sounds like orchestras or whatever, but it's just the four of us.
And for yourselves, doing the recording of Bohemian Rhapsody, what's your memory of that? Tell us a story.
Well, it was like painting on a canvas. That's the way we always worked. We did the backing track first, so it would be piano, bass and drums, or guitar, bass and drums. In this case, piano, because Freddie was leading it, you know, it was Freddie's baby. Three of us really, Roger and Freddie and myself, would normally sing a line until we felt it was right, and it had to have the right sort of spontaneity. It also had to be in tune. Three of us had to have the right length to it, you know, the right tone and whatever. Once we had that, we would double it and triple it, so then you got six voices singing one line. We were lucky in having a good blend of voices as well, without too much trouble. It just sounded big.
And did that beast of a song overshadow the whole album? Did Bohemian Rhapsody become A Night at the Opera?
It didn't at the time. I suppose afterwards it did. After the event, yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody becomes, in a sense, what people see as the album. But the people who know us know that there's a huge variety of stuff on that album, and good stuff, I think. You know, I think it was very adventurous in the day. Nobody else had done anything like that.
Is it true that it was the most expensive album?
It was at the time, yeah, because we'd used so many studios and we spent quite a lot of weeks doing it. These days, no. I mean, compared to what people spend these days, they spend millions on albums.
We are going to play You're My Best Friend, and this was written by John.
Exactly.
What do you remember about the recording of this?
John was kind of like a lone wolf. He would be working off in a corner somewhere and not talking to anyone for a while. And then normally what would happen would be he would get in a huddle with Freddie, because John didn't sing. The way he would communicate a song would be to play it and give the words to Freddie. Freddie would then start singing it, and John would go, no, I meant like this. And Freddie normally would get very into it. You know, Freddie and John had a great relationship and managed to build things. And I have to say, the track record is amazing. You know, if you look at batting average for writing songs versus hits, Deaky is well up there. You know, he's got You're My Best Friend here, he's got another one, Bites the Dust, he's got something else huge. What is his other huge one? I've forgotten. But he didn't write much, but almost everything he wrote was
solid gold.
Yeah, really.
Okay, so Brian, as you look back at A Night at the Opera, for bands who make lots and lots of different albums, they must be like children. You must have they have their own personality, you know, you kind of favour some of the, well, obviously you never favoured certain children, but how do you feel?
You can't have a favourite child, can you?
No, but how do you feel about A Night at the Opera?
I like it. I think it's one of our top 3 albums.
Okay, so to sum up, how would you describe this album, its place in Queen history? Just a sentence for us.
I would say it's colourful, tending towards the Baroque.
Brian, thank you very much indeed, and we'll play
Joe.
this from A Night at the Opera, voted for at number 10 by the Radio 2 listeners. This is You're My Best Friend. From A Night at the Opera, You're My Best Friend from Queen. That album came out in 1975. Our thanks to Dr. Brian May.